Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Live from the Fish Room again. As ever, I'm not really very well organised. Disaster impending, but we'll see if we can avert it. We might even have a live disaster on stream. But let me see if I can get everything set up properly. Hi from Doncaster. Hi from Sheffield. Yes, right, that worked. Okay, we're cooking with gas. Let me see if the GoPro is plugged in. The GoPro is plugged in but not recognised. Why would that be? Because you have to turn it on, Graham. Let's see what we have to do. If I pull that out there, push it back in. I don't have enough USB ports on this laptop. And nothing works through a hub, it seems. We'll see if it comes back. Anyway, how is everyone? We have NJW all the way from sunny Doncaster? No, very much not, I doubt it. Nabokov 87? What does that say? Nabokov all the way on the other side, direct on the other side of the globe from Aquarium Adventures. Well, welcome. We've got Hans is in from Sweden, and Ross from a freezing cold Edinburgh. Well, it's a freezing cold Sheffield as well. I nearly went on my arse several times on the way back, slipping on the ice. It was nice and toasty in here. I might have to take the old jumper off in a minute, but I've been running about like a proverbial blue-earthed fly. Trying to get everything. So we'll say hello to everyone. I'll let you know what's going on at least. Freezing cold Stoke says Lee. Mark says hello. Freezing cold Bristol says freshwater ichthyology. I'm nearly a quarter of the globe away. Well, without giving away your address, where is that? Am I a bit tilted? Oh, the water's going to fall out my aquariums. Evening, all heating is on. Basking in a balmy 17 degrees in the living room. Some kind of summer holidays. Right, for you, my friend. I've hidden it from myself. We're going to kick off this evening with one of my new favourite beers. So I hope everyone's got their refreshments, tasty beverages and snacks. We're going to start with a Franny Cranny, because I feel like having something I enjoy tonight. Now, I've not got a bloody bottle opener, have I? What's this? I do have a tape measure. Bottle. Aquarium Adventures glass. And beer. We're almost good to go. I just need something to open it with now. A Rambo knife. That'll do it. There we go. Oh, we're almost good to go then. How are we all? I'm a little bit frazzled. Things have been conspiring against me today. Silver Creek, how's it going? Martin's in. Skipper's Aquariums, Mark. Reverting back to my original username after my inadvertent blunder last week. Oh, I don't know what you mean about. Hello, Zen Ginger. Audio and video good, thank you very much. Mega Tank Live Disaster? No, but maybe Mega Tank Live First Fish Putting In to avoid disaster. Football's going into extra time, so don't do or say anything for 30. I thought the football was finished, or what? Was that the other game? Jamie says, good afternoon from LA, all the way from LA. How are you doing? Good evening, as it is here. Kaylee's in. Phil's in. As I'm using his glass. Phil, I will be sending you calendar pictures imminently. That's what I was working on today. And then we'll get the calendar sorted out, hopefully. West Coast. Okay. Do Cheetos and a Coke. count as a tasty snack? And hey, as long as they're tasty to you, that's what counts. Beauty, much like taste, is in the eye of the beholder, as they say, or the beer holder. I realise not all of you. I mean, it's 9 p.m. on a Friday night here for me. At the end of the week, I'm going to have a beer. Obviously, it's afternoon and morning in some places of the world, and this is just downright inappropriate. So I do apologise, but I also don't care. So I'm not going to stop. Now that's a knife. It is. This is my YouTube box opening knife. Rob, good evening. Weiss beer is awesome, good choice. It is. It's one of my favourites. Out of all the weird beers that we've been trialling, it's one of the top ones. The real Cheetos are banned here for some ingredient. Is that true? I know there's lots of differences between UK and US foods and snacks and things like that. Like the Fanta over here is a completely different colour to the Fanta over there, as well as other things. So I'll launch into it. What's going on? Is this going to work? No, it's not going to work. GoPro's not having it. Well, maybe I could. I have an idea. If I take that out and take this out and put that there. It'll make noises. I don't know if that's going to do anything. Oh. I thought about it. Live, Graham farts about with laptop. I don't know. Anyway, this tank here is my discus tank currently. So many things beeping at me at once. So, for those of you new here, welcome. This is my fish room, my office. I've got a brand new display tank in the main house for all my discus fish to go in. They are there. Said brand new display tank is very, very heavy, and I have no one else in the house that's strong enough or capable to help me lift brand new tank onto stand and start getting it set up. So I'm waiting for some assistance to come by. We might have a crack at it tomorrow. So the discus and the congos and all the fish that are going to be in that tank are currently in this tank here. And it started leaking. So I was hoping that I could get the old GoPro going to show you this, but it doesn't seem to be happening. I mean, it's leaking in a very minor way, if that makes sense. In that I noticed that yesterday, and it's down at this bottom corner here, I noticed that yesterday and thought it was actually this is my water butt to return all my wastewater. I thought it was that had leaked onto the floor, but it wasn't until I came back down today and went, oh, it's there. So I've got a towel currently soaking it up and stopping it going on the floor and making anything worse. But it is very definitely leaking, and I just don't want it to just explode and come at me. I mean, that would be great viewing, let's admit, but it would not be fun. So, I have a plan. Megatank has now been leak-free for over 2 weeks, I think. Everything's going well with Megatank. Touch wood. It sits at an ambient kind of 23-ish, which isn't really warm enough for the discus. And to get it up to temperature for the discus, I just think we'd be here for days, and I'd be paying an absolute fortune trying to get this up somewhere high enough. So I've been heating it today, and I've got it up to just cracking 25 on the old Felix. I've added Felix to Megatank, so I'm in the middle of making a video about all this as well. Sorry, I'm getting distracted now. So, that's up at 25. He's currently at 26 and a half. I'm happy enough moving him for 1 degree difference. But my idea was I move Humphrey, get Humphrey into Mega Tank, get this smaller tank up to discus temperature, make this tank fine, move discus across, break down that tank, fix leak, put Humphrey back in this tank and put the discus from here in the display tank upstairs. I just can't get the display tank done quick enough. I need to move it, I need to cut some polystyrene and stuff like that, I need to then scape it, get it filled, get it up to temperature. That's going to take me the weekend, if not longer. So, I'm saying this out loud almost for the first time in my head. I'm looking for feedback as to how stupid this idea is. So, discus into Humphrey's tank, once Humphrey's tank's up to temperature. Oh, let's start properly. I'm happy enough that Mega Tank has made temperature. So Humphrey into Mega Tank. Big water change on Humphrey's tank. Clean it out. Fill it with hot water. Discus into there. Empty discus tank. Fix. Humphrey into discus tank. Discus into display tank. Does that make sense? Cheers. What do you think? Does that make sense? Now trying to use the mouse I've just unplugged. Why will you not work? What's your problem, GoPro? I need you. Sorry, I need to get my mouse back. So I'll say a few more hellos while you get a chance to reply and tell me, no, you idiot, that won't work because... insert thing I haven't thought about. House of Sass, hello. I have a stunning Belgian double to start, a mere 6.9%. I think, well, I've tried to avoid anything ridiculous tonight because I was pretty much smashed last week after drinking 4 beers that were all above 7%. So this is a nice, reasonable 5%. Nice and safe. It's very boring here, no risk with any snacks. They banned Blue Smarties for a while. I wouldn't call it boring. Time is relevant, and so is beer, so continue being relevant for the beer for time's sake. Yeah, I'll take that. Good frosty evening for everyone, says David. Yeah. Paw Patrol beer image added to Discord. Oh, I'll have to have a look at that then. I've been trying to find some Lounbrow for my dad around LA for years with no luck. No, sorry Jamie, I don't have any ideas. I've never been to LA, so I don't know how well Lounbrow travels. Misfit Reptiles and Aquatics with the big waves. Am I still in sync or am I out of sync? Have we fixed that from last week? Watching the footy and the stream. Netherlands are doing well, in case anyone wondered. Yes, if you don't want to know the score, avert your ears now. Brazil got gubbed. I didn't get gubbed. Beaten on penalties. And then the day I've been dreading, tomorrow. Going round to see some friends in England. A Scotsman in England with lots of English people on a day that England are playing in the World Cup. Don't know why I do it to myself. I mean, I've got over my hatred and everything, but God, sitting amongst everyone being so English about everything. Oh, half my audience tanks. What about moving them to Humphrey's tank and letting him in the mega tank? Yeah, that is exactly what I'm thinking. Dad, watching you and the football, multitasking, thank you. I'll take every view. All 47 of you, or whatever it is at the moment. With only 9 likes. Come on, people. Let's get that up to 50 likes, and then I'll put Humphrey in the big tank. Agreed. Don't heat the big tank. 25 degrees is expensive enough, and my system is very similar. Yeah, I'm surprised it took so little to get up to temperature. So I reckon, because this radiator over here that we've got heats the room anyway, and the ambient temperature is 24 according to the thermometer that's on the outside of Mega Tank, and I'm surprised so quickly that the water got up to, I think it was like 22, 23 without any heaters or anything like that, just using the ambient temperature of the room. And I only added some not massive heaters, considering it's a 2,500 litre tank. I only added one 150 watt and one 150 watt and 275 watts. That's just what I had around. Stuck them in there just to see what would happen, and it's already got up to, well, it's just going just crept north of 24, crept south of 25 actually, 24.63, although I think that needs to be adjusted up. So I'm excited to see a fish swimming around in Mega Tank, but I want a bloody GoPro to work for that. Let me turn it off and turn it back on again, like all good IT professionals would do it. Powering off. Hey there, guy. My name's Erin. I have autism. It's nice to meet y'all. Nice to meet you too. Fish Fed, don't debate, just do it. Good. Oh, I've had quite a few. I thought you'd eventually just cave and make Mega Tank a huge discus tank. I'm surprised this wasn't where this was going. It's still there. It's an option. I need to get the channel sponsors so somebody will buy me enough discus to make it worth it. I just think it looks stupid with, unless it was rammed full of discus, it would just look daft. It'd be a cool tank though. Phil says he's copying me a bit. Don't worry, I'm sure I'm copying someone else. I bought some Congo Tetras for my discus tank. They are brilliant together. I agree. Catching Humphrey in the large tank after may be tough without draining it. You're not wrong. That could have averted disaster there. Yeah. Or like one of those big massive nets, I guess. On a long pole. There's nothing else in there. Still, I think that the good thing is there's no decoration, there's no rocks or wood or anything like that for him to hide behind and get snagged in. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. He's kind of an idiot. So in this tank he just charges from end to end, smashing into things. So I think if I did have decorations in there, he'd either do himself some damage or do some damage to them or the tank itself. One Oscar, red bellies, and some tarantulas. I guess that's a different question. I missed the start of that, sorry. Playing the World Cup, not in England. Video is off center, back black border. What? I don't know how to fix that. Or do I? Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, professional me. Is this any better? What are we at? Stream 90 odd? I visited Scotland for the first time the day after Scotland lost last time. I couldn't sound any less English, and one pub refused to play the England game. Oh, we're not all that bad. I love these communities live streams because people are so much more nicer. Well, that's what we want. Evening, Christine. Geophagus are cooler water poop eating geophagus. That's what I tell myself. Gymnogeophagus. I was looking at them this week. Massive geophagus tank, right? Maybe. It'll be good for him. What's stopping him from going in right now? That's kind of what I'm thinking. I was just waiting for the temperature to go up. Temperature's good. All the parameters are good. What do you think, Humphrey? You want a shot in there? Want to go in the big tank? Moving Humphrey gets messy. Oh, things have happened. Hang on. Would Humphrey try to eat the soft black walls? I mean, he is stupid enough. But no, I hope not. Let's go with that. Pardon me. Videos, but see, what a great community I've got that'll tell me when I've been a massive idiot. Humphrey's ready for a road trip. I think you might be right. Let's see if we can get the GoPro working and I can at least film the event. USB connected, that's a good start. Webcam mode, that's also a good start. Oh, cooking with gas. So there's Humphrey's tank at the moment. I think we might prepare to move him. I'm not going to do anything more special than just hoik him out of one and stick him in the other. Move the goldfish, they deserve. Well, that's what I was planning on making a video and just putting the goldfish in there, just so as I could have some fish moving around the mega tank. Because you're right, they do deserve a bigger tank. Oh, and while we're on the subject of goldfish, oh my god! So I had a bunch of people commented on my video about the goldfish, about me moving them inside. Going, why are you doing that? That's a silly idea. You don't need to do that. My goldfish pond has maybe 2 inches of ice at the top of it. I had the kids out there smashing it with a hammer for ages, trying to break through the ice just to see how thick it was. So yes, I think they very much would prefer being down here in the fish room with me. So that was my original plan, to put the goldfish in there. But then this little... I mean, it's not really an emergency. Okay, seriously though, the only thing I can think of that the tank doesn't have light. The tank does have light. And he said... let there be light. So I don't know if you can see that, but there's 2 lights there, and we also have some floods behind that beam. So there's plenty of light and reflections, unfortunately. That's a shame. Right, so I'm going to try and get the camera set up in such a way that I can get one of the big nets in and transfer them over quickly without getting everything soaking wet. Catching big cichlids, they get water everywhere, they do. I mean, I can't go near... I was trying to measure the temperature earlier with like a normal thermometer. I thought he was going to swallow the whole thing. He just nabbed it out of my hand and started giving it up. Right, let's see if we can do this. What shall I do? Now, here you go, dealer's choice. Put the pea puffers in Mega Tank. I was this close to going and buying a betta just so as I could put the betta in and say, is it big enough? I'm not making a comedy video, but no. Do you want the camera on Humphrey as I try and take him out, or as I try and put him in? Can I do both? I wonder. Right, I'll set up the GoPro pointing at Mega Tank, and then I'll zoom this camera in a little bit so you can see what's going on. Right, that's like director's cut again. Oh, it's a shame it's got such a reflection. We'll see what we can do about that. Okay, I guess there's no time like the present. Now, I say he's an idiot quite a lot, but he's also pretty clever in that once he sees this properly, he'll be like, haha, no chance, big lad. So I have to be fairly quick and aggressive with this, or he does that. Now we have a fight where he will try and kill the net. So, plan 2 is to get another net. There we go. Oh, for God's sake. And he's in. Look at all the space you've got, Humphrey. He's like, I don't believe it. All this for me? He looks like... He does look like a normal betta fish in a tiny little tank. Whee! Do you know what we might do, Humphrey? We might go and get you a prawn. I know you like a prawn as a little treat. I can't really cover the whole tank. So far so good. My worry is that when, especially big fish in my general experience, but specifically Humphrey, when he's not happy about something, straight into a corner. There's water on my laptop. Right. Now we get to the point where everyone's going, no, don't do it because of this. For comedy value alone, she keep moving the camera for an action shot. Not been a comedy video since she climbed through the hole in the... Oh, my balls! Shouldn't you bless the tank first or cheers it or something? I'm kind of happy that Humphrey gets to be the first fish to have a go in it. He did live in a tank that was too small for a long time when we did the house move. So I'm glad he gets a chance to stretch his fins, so to speak. I've knackered up this camera as well, haven't I? Right, how's that? We could even try and do it. So you see that thing in the top left corner? That's the Felix camera, but I've not calibrated it, so it'll be terrible. We could try that. The suspense is killing me. Such a journey to get to. You're not wrong. To finally see a fish in there. And this is this kind of everything coming together. This is where I sit when I do my normal proper job. If I can sit here and just watch fish swimming around, it's almost like a screensaver. It'd be great. Flower horns have really nasty bites. I know it. I refuse to algae clean their tanks and stores. Oscars as well. Yeah, I've got scars from Humphrey biting lumps off of me and tips of fingers. He even got me once on the nail, and it went right through the nail. He'll be grumpy when you take him out of Mega Tank. Well, maybe I'll leave him in there. Maybe this is the... I mean, it's such a big tank. He could... I don't know, maybe he could tolerate a tank mate. My problem here is if it goes wrong, it's going to be impossible to catch either of the fish. He seemed to be the only fish I've ever seen him not go... I mean, I've only tried him with a couple of fish, but the gold som that I've got over here jumped from that tank into Humphrey's tank, and the two of them were just chilling quite happily. But when I turned up, he started chasing it away as if to say, "Oh, you might steal my food," or something like that. But I don't know, maybe in such a big tank, he might tolerate some friends in there. The local Maidenhead Aquatics had a couple of Oscars in that had been donated, so they were a good size, probably a similar size to Humphrey. And Humphrey's, what? He might be... He's not quite... He's maybe 10 inches, 9 or 10 inches. He's not quite a foot. And I think they were a similar size, if not a little bit bigger. So that might be quite cool, to try something like that. It's amazing how such a big fish and not a huge tank can still be tricky to catch. Yes. Oh, look at him investigate. Hey, he is. He's like, this isn't my normal home. He does seem super chilled as well. I honestly expected this to go... Him go straight into one of the corners, and because there's no other decorations or anything, he'd just go straight to a corner, go dark, and hide. Because every time I've messed around with him, that's what he does. That's how he shows me, I don't like this. And then a couple of days later, he comes out of a grump. So I was fully expecting that to happen, and me to be sat here going, this is normal, he does this all the time, don't worry about it, it's not terrible. But no, he's like, haha, I'll have me some of this. You could park a jumbo jet in there. I wonder how 10 flower... Oh, there's an idea. I could have a... Is there such a thing? A flower horn community? That'd be pretty cool if that is a thing. Right, we're going on to number 2. It's very similar to number 1. Must remember mouse not plugged in. It's an Erdinger. It's another Weiss beer, so very similar. This is ace. Sat in my comfy chair, fish in my mega tank, big ass knife, a beer. Who could want more? Where did that go? Oh, I found another idea. I could plug my mouse in here. That'll help. How dare you do that? This tank's not cycled. It is actually. I've used media. There's media in the sump that has been used, so we should be good. Oh, the other thing I was thinking of talking to you about was I have plugged in... can I show you this? You might see it over there. The kit car, the green light. I've plugged in my Felix. So Felix Smart is now running Megatank. So it'd be very hard to see this. But I've also got the slides from the Senai in there as part of the Felix. So it monitors the ammonia, the pH, the temperature. I think that's the only ones the Senai one does. And light, so power values and all that, but I'm not really bothered about that for the moment. So I have various alerts and things set if ammonia does become a problem, but 2,500 litres, it should be a long time before that becomes a problem. And for lights, I've got 2 10 watt or 15 watt floodlights, as well as 2 LED strips, one on each half. Seems okay. He certainly looks bright enough. It's probably not enough light for plants or anything like that, but for just looking at your fish, it should be fine. Free Humphrey. He looks a bit shell-shocked. He is a bit like, oh, look at all this space. Are you happy, bud? I should maybe move the camera, because he does seem to be spending a lot of time over here, where I am. Like, look at me. Toss about 100 Neo Gardenia in there with him. No, that would be... I mean, I do have them, but no. Really hope you think of something where you need to get him out right now. Would love to see you catch him now. Oh, no. Whew. I mean, you're right. I have made a massive mistake in that I can't catch him now without getting in there. So I'm going to need to get like a pond net, I guess, with a long handle. Yeah, we should be alright. Now you can do work and watch him watch you. Exactly. It's kind of cool having this. He is spending a lot of his time over this side. There are some amazing community Central American setups and biotope ones that have won awards. I might have to look into that. Do you still have the gold som and the Oscars? I still have the gold som, but he killed the Oscars, so I don't have the Oscars, unfortunately. Wild Oscars were, I agree, they were beautiful. That's why I wanted them. Is it big enough to get a bike chair? I would hope so. Plenty of stunning large cichlids needing homes. Well, if you guys are out there and are on forums and things that I'm not aware of or don't know about, and you see people putting things up for rehoming, feel free to tag me or to send them my way, give them my email address or whatever. Rather than, it's a bit like dog rescues, isn't it? Rather than me going out and buying another monster, if someone's got a problem with a monster, I might be able to help. Is the water warm? Can I pop in for a swim? I promise not to pee again. It definitely is. It definitely is warm, and you can have a swim if you want. I've got lots of biomedia, so you can have a little pee. You'll be alright. A little leak will be no problem. It's like he feels he's in the wild. Oh, wait. Yeah, I often get, because Humphrey's usually there, and if I do conference calls for work, every now and again I'll show people, go, oh, this is where I'm sat, this is why I'm not freezing cold. And I'm like, wow, what kind of fish is that? That's a flower horn. And where do they come from? Nowhere. What do you mean? Where do they live? No, they're a hybrid. They've been created by humans. They don't exist in the wild unless they've been let out. That's just a foreign concept to a lot of people. I saw someone complain about cleaning an Abba Abba knife tank. Apparently they can remove... Oh, yes. Oh, they are pretty cool as well. The Abba... Even Mega Tank would be struggling to host one of them, I think. Never seen a flower horn community, but seen plenty with other cichlids who have similar anger issues. Maybe that's... It's probably the key is the size. So the fact that he's got so much space. If I put in a bunch of grumpy gets, they'll all have enough space to claim as their own. And if they get on, they get on. And if they don't, they can claim their own territories and do their own thing, I guess. Like the Franny Crannies, a little bit better. The testosterone is flowing, sir. It's emanating off you in an aura of grandiose manner. Really? Big ass knife and Abba Abba. Yeah. But they do get proper big. I remember, where did I see one of them? It might have even been in the Sea Life Centre at Alton Towers, or one of the other Sea Lives, where they had one. Somebody had not donated it, but given it in because they couldn't handle it. It was enormous. It was like the size of Mega Tank. Let's scroll down to the little... I love the radiator as decoration. I know, I need to do something about the glare. I wonder. Bear with me, callers. Just talk amongst yourself for a second. I'm going to go and try something, see if it makes a difference. Is that any better? You see, I've gone back to mechanical timers because all my smart plugs kept failing. So that should be... So that's every other light except Megatank light off. That's a little bit better, I suppose. I look very bright for some reason. Oh, it's not every light. Hang on, one more. That's about as good as it gets. Don't know who's your favourite. You're Humphrey. Well, you'll get to see him soon in person. Or in fish, I guess I say. And bring warm clothes. This room is hot, but nowhere else in the house is. You could put some kind of black... Yeah, I'll need to sort out something with curtains or something. It's a little bit better. Don't get a fine net, too much drag, but don't use on sharp fish. Good advice, thank you. Graham going scuba diving to catch Humphrey in a future video. Will you ever plan on getting any red bellies? Well, piranhas? Maybe one day. I've always found them to be a little bit underwhelming, piranhas. I don't know if that's just because you think piranhas, oh, it's like the films, they're going to strip a body in 10 seconds. And then you stare at a piranha tank and they just don't move. They move even less than discus. I do like them, and I may consider getting a tank one day. It would be good for content. Lots of clickbaity titles you can get with piranhas, I guess. How long will piranhas not eat my hand? Forever, it turns out, but made you click. Seeing Megatank up and running, you've got to put discus in there. Have a word with the guy you had freebies off. Maybe he can do you a deal. I don't know that I'd want to pay to heat Megatank. It's like almost every extra degree is just like an exponential rise in energy costs. But it would be cool. I quite like this lighting setup. I might use this to film more videos. Green screen with Megatank in front. I don't know. Yeah, mood lighting. Exactly. Polar. Yeah, so this is a GoPro that we're looking at now. I've got CPL filters and things on my proper cameras, so when I'm filming it, it should be a lot better than this. But for live stream purposes, I think this is as good as it's going to get. Megatank needs a bubbling treasure chest, the smallest you can find, in a little SpongeBob house. Yeah. When's the channel being renamed Humphrey Adventures? They used to sell bubbling butt cheeks maybe 15 years ago. I think you still get them from Echo One. I have seen some rather tasteful decorations in my recent visits out to aquarium shops. Still trying to find bleeding shell dwellers somewhere. I may have to go down to Wharf. Apparently that's the place that's got them in at the moment. Yeah, Turd Swinger isn't as good as Franny. Definitely not. I mean, it's passable. It's fine. But I definitely prefer the other one. Cetopsis do what piranha are meant to do more willingly without food. But without food, just sit at the bottom. Yeah. A bubble that looks like a beer bottle that the can pops open on. I like your thinking. There was an amazing tank years ago that featured Caribe piranha, hopless plecos, big shoals of tiny fish. It looked amazing, but I don't know how long it lasted. Oh, we have a cry for help. Yesterday, all fish find come T1 of the diamond blue discus got a black ring, that white in middle on both sides. I'm going to have to start again, sorry. That's not because of your question. My eyes have stopped working. Hi, some help please. Yesterday fish all fine come T1, the diamond blue. All fish fine come tea time. 1, the diamond blue discus got a black ring that's white in middle on both sides. So it's got a black ring on it that's got white in the middle. Put fungus treatment in, but no help, it died. Any ideas? I can't bring it back from the dead, no. I would need to see some pictures, I think. I've never seen... So black is usually trauma. So if a fish, a discus especially, gets spooked and runs off and smashes into the side of the tank, you might see like a third of its body will turn black. Whether it would get a ring, that, to me, that's not something you get from trauma. That suggests there's something else going on, whether it's some kind of illness, disease, bacteria, whatever it might be. I mean, I wouldn't have necessarily gone straight to fungus, but I don't know. I'm not really very good at diagnosing and the medical side of things. No, I'm struggling to get my head around the black ring with white in the middle. So the white could be like the dead material. Did it maybe get trapped or get stuck in something? And that's the trauma, and the white is the where it's given up. I'm sorry, it's one of the worst things in fish keeping is when something goes on and you don't know what it is. At least if you know what it is, you know what to plan to avoid the next time. But when you can't even figure out what happened, it's one of the most frustrating things in this hobby. And common, unfortunately. One of my red bellies will dominate the other three. He loves to be the boss. Do you have a... I should join Discord. Do you have some videos of this? I'd love to see them. If you have a channel, feel free to share it on my Discord server. If you're new here and you want to have this fishy discussion ongoing, when I'm not just sat here getting distracted by my fish, jump on Discord. There'll be a link in the description, and one of my wonderful moderators will no doubt be posting this link as I speak. But things like help my fish has done X, or hey, look at my cool fish, it's done Y. Stick them in there and you can share it with the community. We've got quite a nice, friendly, helpful community, trying to get it built up as much as possible. And it's for your benefit rather than mine. I get nothing from Discord other than it's a place where I can ask questions, I can share things. If you have your own YouTube channel or Instagram or anything like that, feel free to share links and all that. I'm not precious about that sort of thing. But it's a good place where we can share specifically pictures and videos. So like occasions like this where you say, oh, I've got this, can you tell me what's going on? If we can all jump in there and see a video of whatever you're talking about, then you've got a community of a couple hundred people that can go, I think you might be experiencing this or that or the other. And going on a 4-hour drive to pick up 4 koi tomorrow. Got to be there for 10 AM and then a nice 4-hour drive back. Well, that's some cheap koi you've been offered that's making you want to consider that, or some very, very, very expensive koi that's making you want to do that. Shell dwellers should be easy to find. I thought that too. I remember one stage last year where you couldn't move for shell dwellers. Everyone's like, I've got so many of these bloody shell dwellers. And then, as soon as I want some, none. Right, I'm going to have to open Discord because people are talking about things that I can't see. Just looking at the beer suggestions. Huh. So, even if you don't want to... oh no, why is that not working? Bear with me. There we go. So even if you don't want to talk fish and you want to join the Discord server, you can share your most favourite weird and wonderful beers. So this is from Tits McGee, who is Fish Vet on tonight's stream. But in general, if you've got pictures you just want to share and say, look at my stuff, then this is the place for you. If you want to just have general nonsense chats about whatever it might be, show us your Christmas trees, for example. Christmas trees going up this weekend, so I'll be adding to this weekend. Fish chat, shrimp chat, equipment chat, plant chat. If you're buying and selling and swapping plants, fish, whatever you want to do, there's loads of stuff in here. And the mods are really good. There's none of that toxicity. That's a hard word to say after 2 beers. Toxicity that you see on Facebook and places like that. So I want to keep it and grow it and love it and kiss it. Yeah, sorry. Man talks nonsense for a long time. Oh, hang on, you don't want to see my face. You want to see... Humphrey. I did have a question / request. I am new here but wasn't sure. You have done a lot of testing videos. Do you have people ask about colourblind? Oh god, that's my fault. But I do have people that ask about colourblind testing help. Well, I do a lot of testing videos, and I am colorblind. And I've had this discussion with several people who also claim to be colorblind, and that's why they don't do testing. And it's always made me go, I don't really understand that. Because my type of colorblind, as well as every other person on the planet's type of colorblind, as far as I know, means that what I perceive as, in my case, what I perceive as green is actually blue. I just wish I need to bring my test kit down here so I can explain this a little bit better. So, when you're doing water tests, the majority of the test kits, you're comparing a vial of water. You add some stuff to said vial and it turns a colour, and then you compare that to a chart. And lots of people, I'm colourblind, I can't do that. Well, why? I'm colourblind. You're comparing two colours. Whether you call that colour green or blue is immaterial. They're both the same colour. You want to find a match. Colour blindness doesn't mean you can't see colour. It just means your brain confuses colours. But it confuses all colours equally. So what some people might be saying is, right, I'm doing an ammonia test, so I want to see how dark a yellow that is. Okay, well, to me that's a dark orange rather than a dark yellow, but the comparison chart that I'm looking at is also dark orange, so I don't see why it's a big problem. What I would really like to see would be, so I did a one testing video on this probably about a year ago now. Was a test kit where you just didn't have to rely on comparing colours, because as much as I call BS on the whole I'm colourblind, I can't do tests, they're very open to interpretation anyway. They're very subjective. They're all, so I'll often see arguments, you're meant to hold it against a bit of white paper, or you're meant to look at it from above, or you're meant to look at it in strong light and that changes. I just want a number. So you're reading all these comparisons saying, right, okay, so therefore I've got 1 part per million ammonia. I would just like a digital display that I pour water in, I press a button and it says ping 7 or whatever. Not me having to go, well, from this angle it's, what if I look at it and if I stand back? No, I'm not having any of that. So I did one which was a test kit that had been developed. You still had to do additives and regeneratives and all these agents and mixing and loads of chemistry, but at the end goal was you had a little vial of water, you put it in a thing, you pressed a button and it spat out a number at you. So that was perfect. I mean, that was perfect in as much as it was the idea that I was after. The execution was less than perfect. It was very expensive, it took a long time, it was very bulky, it was quite cumbersome, it took a long time to read the test sometimes, but the goal was perfect. If someone could take that idea and run with it and refine it and make it cheap enough to mass market, then it's a bit of an we were talking about the Felix earlier. So Felix is a smart aquarium controller, and one of it's had many gimmicks over the years, and they're not gimmicks, might be a bit unfair, but it's had many USPs over the years. But one of the main things that drew me to it was they said we were going to have all the water parameters continuously monitored. And at the time I was looking at it, I was looking at the Senai kit, but getting quite frustrated that they didn't monitor everything. So the 3 key things, the main ones in most water test kits, you've got ammonia, nitrite, nitrate. pH is useful. GH, KH, they're useful. TDS might be useful. All these other things, but the 3 core ones that you really want to know is ammonia, nitrites, nitrate. If you even want to pare it down more than that, ammonia and nitrate. nitrite shouldn't be in your system once your system's established. But they can't do nitrate. And at the time, I was like, well, why not? That's the one everyone cares about. Like, you get all the planted tank people would be into it. Oh, God, idiots, why didn't they include it? So I get it now. It's hard. It's not as straightforward as that. But there are test kits which do that. So like your HANA checkers, they're hugely expensive to buy in the first place, hugely expensive to run because you keep having to buy all the regen agents and stuff like that. But I don't get how they haven't come down in price because it's not that complex. So I thought the one that I did the test on, which was using photocells, basically using light, and to measure, I thought, wow, this has got something in it, but it's kind of died off, and I've never seen anything come from it, which is a shame because I think it was a really good start. It was like a really good beta test almost, but they were too small a company. They couldn't get their costs right or down. I don't think they had it in them because I made a couple of, very minor points about I don't like this, this, and this, but in general, I think it's pretty good. And they were like, "Take down the video." I'm like, "No, we insist. You must do. You signed a non-disclosure." I'm like, "No, I didn't. You asked me to, and I said no, and that was part of the deal. Remember, you send me the thing, and I tell you what I think about it. End of story." So they were a bit precious about it, and then I don't know. So there you go. That's all that from colour blindness. There you go. Do you have a video dedicated to showing just the JBL scan strips? Do you still use them? I do use them. I think that's a really good way of getting around the colour blindness thing. You're using your phone and your camera to determine what colours match up. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the JBL scan strips. I know there are other brands. I think Tetra do the same sort of things, but I haven't tried them. Did the discus get stuck on an intake? No. Helping a friend out is a bit overstocked. Not the best time of year to move fish. The third option I didn't consider. I have Goliath tarantulas. It's one of the biggest spiders in the world. Oh, jeez, oh. Spiders. Ugh. Will you be going to Aqua next year? Maybe. Aqua is generally... So Aqua in Telford, if I'm thinking about the right thing, is a trade show. It's most years, I think they had a couple of blips during COVID. But it's that, it is a trade show. I have been before. I made videos about it, met some people there. It was interesting and good and all that kind of stuff, but it's fundamentally a trade show. It's not open to the public. You have to be in the trade to get in. It's for companies to sell to business. What has he found? He seems to have found a bit of stone or something that was missing in there. Yeah, just you leave that alone. So my experience was mixed. I met some good companies who were just keen to get their message out and share their stories and all that kind of stuff, but there was more than one company that was just about the hard sell. So don't film this until you signed all this and this. Alright, well, I'll just not film it then. Colour blindness is common and the difference in vision. I do wish test kits would mention it. Someone to ask seems best because it's not as simple as distinctive colours. JBL video, not Discord. I was reading Scott's. Sorry. Especially the API master kit, some tests rely on opacity to determine the value, not just the colour hue. That's what I was getting to with the angle, the viewing angle. So some test kits, like I'm immediately going to forget which ones. I think it's the JBL master kit. You're meant to view from above over a white background. Yet the amount of times I see people in videos going, I'm testing this, and they're just holding it up to thin air going, yeah, everything's good. But why are my fish dying? Like, no, you're doing it wrong, that's why. For normal vision, particularly I feel also some people see extra colours as a level of interpretation. He keeps going for that thing, whatever it is. I think it's the nub of a sucker. So have I been getting this wrong? I've been getting upset with colourblind people saying it doesn't matter if you're colourblind, you're just comparing two colours that are meant to be the same or not the same. It's my whole rant and explanation about how just because you call it blue and I call it green doesn't mean we can't tell the difference. Am I wrong? Maybe I am, I don't know. Graham, have you ever had a sour beer? A specific style? Not that I know of. It's worth taking a photo and asking people. Brands need to mention it, as colour blindness is common in men and is seen in women. I think blue-green being the most common. I think that's my type. Because we have some, what I call green towels, and everyone else is like, you mean the blue ones, Dad? Well, no, those green ones. Yes, blue. But surely, just because I call it blue and you call it green, or vice versa, I'm still able to compare that against other things, no? Thanks, Phil, for stopping by. I shall send you some pictures for the calendar. You've probably gone on miles behind, aren't I? Alright, let's crack through some. Hey! I just found out that I'm colourblind. The news hit me from out of the purple. Oh, I should have my psh. Oh, I got a crap joke today. Sorry, Uncle Stephen. A friend of mine drank invisible ink. He's now in hospital, waiting to be seen. JBL ProScan, yeah, that's the one that's use your phone. Diode probe kit, that was the thing, yeah. As a driving instructor, I had a student who was colourblind. The traffic light colours were all a shade of brown for her. So you can get different colours all presenting to the person as the same colour. Okay, I take it all back then. I was not aware of that. I thought it would be, or certainly in my case, it seems to be red, amber, green. It might be, alright, amber, brown, blue. But they're still consistent. There's a level of consistency. But I guess that might not be the case. I don't know. I have 4 bristlenose, 3 in one tank. They about... What? I have 4 bristlenose, 3 in one tank, they're about 1 inch, and 1 male about 4 inches in my other tank. Can I put the 3 smaller ones into the other tank safely? I don't want the bigger one to attack it. 9 times out of 10 that would probably be fine. I mean, it depends how big the tank is. If the tank's big enough to accommodate 4 fully grown bristlenoses, the chances are it'll be big enough for them to find a little space to hide in. I think the colorimeters, colorimeters, I don't know how you say that, need a bit of thought behind them. Yeah, it seemed like a good idea, but the execution was just a bit lacking. It's rare to see one with it as it's on the X chromosome. It must be difficult for me. For me in driving, it's left and right. Oh Jesus! Yes, I often remember in the car with my mum. Quite often, it'd be right, turn left. Oh, that's right, mum. Oh yeah, turn left. So yeah, you went with the hands, not the vocal signal. Hannah's tests are great. Just price it exactly. They're very good. See, that is a very well thought out ecosystem. They are good. They work well. They work quickly. They work easily. They just haven't got the price right yet. Well, they probably have for them. Is Aqua worth going to? I'd like to question products, but quizzing reps in person, and a lot of reps don't know that much detail. Exactly my experience. You ask anything past the most basic of questions, you get, well, we can get someone to get back to you on that. Okay. I mean, there were some that were really good. Some were like the one-man band setups seem to be good, because that's somebody that's a man or a woman who has developed a product and built a company around that product and is there to market it. So there's nothing they don't know about that product. And then there's your bigger companies who send the sales rep who's like, well, I can tell you everything about the margin you need to know, but how does it work? It's irrelevant. It'll sell really well. Okay, thanks very much. So I found it good. I found it good because I wanted to meet a few people, and they were all in the same place at the same time, so I got to arrange to meet up with them. So I did some videos of discus breeders. I did some videos with filtration stuff, and it was, if you're in the business, not even the business, if you're in the hobby, yeah, of course it's great. You get to hang around with loads of companies trying to sell the latest and greatest things that their companies are talking about. But it's kind of 50-50 as to whether or not you get someone who knows the product properly, or you get a sales rep who will just, I'm happy to, give me your email, give me your phone number, I'll get someone to get back to you. Which is, a bit annoying. I put a picture of my piranhas on Discord, right? Let's have a look then. Oh yeah, I think I can see them. There you go, they're on the internet now. They look like quite chunky boys. There's 9 types of colour blindness. Some tests are colour gradients, which should be okay. Others change colours that can be tricky. I stand corrected. Then in those cases, I think your JBL ProScan and the like, where you're letting technology do the comparison for you, that's probably the best scenario. I'm pretty sure you had a Vault City tower. Oh, maybe I did. I shall need to refer to the spreadsheet, but that's on my other computer. Right, I'm ready for another one. I've got 2 left. Humphrey's just chilling out, watching me now. This is quite funny. Let's go back to the main. We've got this one. McEwen's, just because it reminded me of home. Award-winning premium beer. Full-bodied, smooth and complex. Gold medal winner. 7.3 volume again. Why did I not look? Brewed specifically as a competition entry, then going on to take first place, Champion is the obvious name for this outstanding premium beer. With a rich, strong flavour and unique sweet and fruity character, Champion's a firm favourite in the McEwen's range. Fruity, I like fruity. And then, just because it was freezing cold on the way to the shops, Winter Warmer. Rich, fruity and malty. 5.3, won't kill me. This well-balanced dark winter ale, brewed by Eel Brewery in Bedfordshire using Challenger hops, creating a rich and fruity ale, with additional body and character coming from the roasted malt barley. Enjoy, served alongside a steak and ale pie, or while relaxing with friends and family beside an open fire. Winter Warmer or McEwen's Champion? What do you think, people? Colour blindness depends on what it is. It's difficult describing something we can't see and they don't. Very true, very true. Ishihara colour plate test. Is that a thing? Is that a thing we can do online? Let's have a look. Test your colour vision. Colourblind test. This is a fairly common condition that often goes undiagnosed because you do not realise you aren't seeing colours as other people do. Yet testing for colour blindness is simple. It doesn't even require a trip to the doctor. This test is based off the standard Ishihara colour plate test. Look at the pictures below and enter the numbers you see in the corresponding boxes. Okay. 7, 6, 26, 15, 6, 73, 5, 16, 45, 12, 29, 8. Percentage correct 100%. So am I not colourblind? Is that towel actually green and my family are just trolling me? So confused right now. Mind blown. Steiner, you've welcomed me. I welcome you at a time where My whole grasp on reality is being challenged. We're going with the champion, because who doesn't want to drink a winner? Oh, looks stouty. I thought I was colourblind, but I've just passed the test with 100% saying I'm not. Oh, what's this? What crazy world are we in now? I've just looked up colour vision. Cichlids can see more colours than people. Humphrey? What colour am I? I was asking if you have a dedicated video to the JBL scan strips or consider making one. I do have people that would love to see how it works and I want to point them to your content. Well, thank you very much. I think I have one. I'm going to have to go back to... I've made a lot of videos. I'm sure I did one about JBL because I quite like that one. Let me have a look. My channel. Videos. No, I need to go into studio. JBL. Well, maybe I don't have one dedicated to the Pro Scan. Testing. Oh, I did one. Yeah, okay. So it's not dedicated to the JBL Pro Scan, but it includes the JBL Pro Scan, and it was all the different. Let me just pause that where it starts. All the different test kits. So it was like comparing API with JBL Pro Scan with JBL Combi, JBL Master. Oh, need to change my intro. So I shall post a link to that in chat. Have a look and see if that fits your bill. If it doesn't, feel free to suggest that I make another one, and I'll do so. Winter warmer will be dark like a Guinness or a Newcastle. You're quite right. It is. Doesn't smell as horrific as some of the... Was it the porters that I really didn't like? Looks like a proper pint though, doesn't it? Yeah. Not horrific, but fine. Craig Doniger, Craig's Catfish Cave, says hello. Hello yourself, Craig. Go with champion, you conquered Mega Tank today. Yeah. I'm going to need to move the camera because Humphrey's just hanging out down here looking at me. Let's see if we can put you back on. For those of you who are just joining, Mega Tank has an inhabitant now. Humphrey has made the transition. I'm now attached to this thing. Why are you doing that? Yeah, there you go. He's hanging out down there. Just watching me. Brewed to be a champion is successfully fulfilling its destiny. Must be a real winner. Even when the label says so. Champion Mega Tank didn't leak. Yes, quite right. It's a bit of a... The fact that Champion isn't that nice. But I'll take it. Cheers, everyone. Thank you for joining me on this momentous occasion. I'm just so happy to have a fish in Mega Tank. Even if the circumstances are... I need to get this one drained. Start cleaned and filled back up again. I'll get the discus over there in the morning, maybe. Paul's in. How you doing, Paul? I think some blues could be green like cyan and turquoise. Maybe that's what the problem is. This is going to be very weird. But we play this game called Yellow Car. That whenever you see a yellow car, you punch the person that's sat next to you. Which, when the person that sat next to you doesn't know you're playing the game, can be awkward. But generally it's within the family, so it's the kids and the wife and I. Driving along the road, see a yellow car, you shout yellow car, the first one that shouts it gets to punch the person next to them. Now, I'm always getting pulled up because I shout yellow car and punch somebody. And lightly, I'm not like abusing my children or anything. And they'll all be like, "No, that's a green car, Dad. What are you on about?" Now, you've all got me thinking that this is a conspiracy against me. That they're all doing this on purpose. So I just passed that test with 100%. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, like Joe says, I think your parents and childhood teachers just conspired to teach you the wrong names for some of the colours. How deep does this go? I mean, look at this beautiful red drink. I mean, maybe that's not even red. Bet you some people would call that brown. Turn the heater up in the other tank so you can move the discus already ahead of you. I'd already turned it up. But I also put water into it quite hot through my HMA, so it should be fine. Too bad Humphrey can't have a beer with you. I could maybe pour in a little bit. Got me 6 wild green discus today and 2 royal plecos too. Wow. Can't beat a game of yellow car. So, other people know of yellow car. It's not just us. Okay. That's like slug bug. Do you guys know who Zach Catch-em-all is? Do I know who he is or how he is? I know who he is, and I don't care how he is. Cadillac Whack? Oh, so, okay. We may have stumbled onto something here. We play punch bug here, so when you see a Volkswagen Beetle, a bug, you punch the closest person to you. It's just a slightly different thing in the US. Ah. Or as QC said, slug bug. It's weird how this works. It's weird there's so many people in so many different places across the world, it seems. But yeah, I know about that. Yeah, yellow car, slug bug, whatever you got, Cadillac Whack. Yeah, you punch a stranger on a bus, and the dirty looks that you get. That is not red. Red is the stickers on the yellow shells behind you. That's clearly blue. Come on, Joe, play the game. Surf City Cichlids. Hello yourself. You rarely see bugs, so I changed the rules to EVs. Some marine people put vodka in their aquariums, even swear, but yeah. I thought I was being trolled when people start saying, oh yeah, just vodka dosing. Green and yellow are close on the colour spectrum. True colour blindness is getting colours on the opposite side mixed up. Ah, okay. Live feed ASMR. I breed L46 zebra plecos, lampi killies, and pea puffers. Well, whoop-de-doo for you. Oh, sorry. That's cool. Zebra plecos must be quite profitable, I would have thought. The only problem with joining these streams is it's still the middle of the day here. Yes, we're 3 beers deep. I think he was... The shelves are indeed orange. I think he was being hilarious, suggesting that my colour blindness has got things confused. He does fishing. So Zach Catch 'em All. Yes, he does do fishing content. I am not a fan. I do not like any of his content. I think he's a horrific person. Yeah, terrible treatment of fish. Terrible. Just I don't like anything about him. Pea puffers are super expensive in Australia, apparently. Oh, I watched a video about that recently. So, I mentioned in one of my recent videos that I picked up some extra pea puffers. I'm trying to get like a breeding colony going, and I had a bit of a wipeout where I came back and there was just a load dead that had been killed by one of the other ones. But anyway, long story short, so I picked up a few extra. They're like £3.50, something like that. I might be. I can't remember, but they're not expensive here in the UK. And I watched a video about, it was an Australian girl, she was going to an auction, and the auction was like, went on till like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I was like, I feel your pain. They take freaking forever. But they were selling like individual pea puffers for $200. And I was like, what? No way. But it's because Australia, it's so hard to import fish that you're relying on. So I think the case is that they're banned now, so they're relying on like hobbyist breeders breeding them there. But whoa. Zebras are about to get more profitable. I thought they were coming down in price. Oh dear. Even if their new designation affects none of us in a slight way, there will still be people squishing every penny they can out of them. I saw some, I can't remember the L number, it was L blah blah blah, and it was like false zebra or broken zebra, and I could not tell the difference, and they were like 40 quid compared to 200 quid. It's just, some people have got more money than sense. Last I heard they were like 150, 200 bucks. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Australia is just... It's something special. I mean, you just literally just cannot get a lot of fish in Australia. I do know he got a lot of backlash on some of his videos, and rightly so, yes. They also can't keep shrimp in certain parts. Yeah, I mean, the list is quite extensive of things you're not allowed in Australia. That's why things like pea puffers are hugely expensive. L129 is it, the false zebra. Easy to breed, nice fish, and honestly rarer than the zebras. But most plecos are. Yeah, they seem to be everywhere at the moment. I've got myself a new pleco. Am I allowed to just say pleco, or should I be going with scientific names? Shall we turn the lights back on, see if we can get this one, because I think I can see him. Or her. And there's Humphreys chilling out down there. Let's come back to me. I'll try and do an after dark stream of the fish room. Now I have so many wires wrapped around my legs, I'm definitely going to fall over. Oh, get that out of the way. Right, let's see if we can get this to work. Okay, it's a bit dark. Bear with. Wrong light. You can't even really see him either. Oh, that was a lot of effort for no payoff. Did you see that? He just said, "Oh, are you filming? I'll just get out of the way." That's as good as it gets. My cactus pleco, or leopard cactus pleco, what did we decide it was? 600, I think. I keep rare Pac-Man frogs. I feed them live rodents on my YouTube channel. Lovely. I've got a brand new pair of plecos. You've got a brand new Corey. Do you put aquarium salt in your tanks for healthy fish, not marine salt for marine tanks? I try not to use salt at all, unless it's to treat something. So I have used aquarium salt in the past where something has warranted it, but no. I generally stay away from treatments as much as possible. L600, that was what it was. Pseudo-acanthus. Acanthus. Leopardus, and a really nice one. Nice one. I'm going to go with nice one. That's what you meant to type. Yes. So, this is a fish. I really wanted to make a video about this because I did what I advise everyone not to do and keep telling people, oh, never do this. 100% impulse buy. I saw that and went, wow, look at that, that's cool. And the guy was like, yeah, you can have it for a tenner off if you want. Alright then. And then Googling it going, well, what parameters is it like? Well, so not the way to buy a fish, 100% not the way to buy a fish. And as a person who tells the internet not to buy fish like that, I feel very bad. But it happens. Why wouldn't it happen? You see something that's that bright, that colourful, that well patterned, that just weird, cool looking, of course you're going to buy it. You're not going to wait for someone else to come along and steal it from you. I have seen these in the past. A lot younger, a lot smaller. So it was just a good chance to get something that was a good size. And then try and learn all about it afterwards. And if you're interested in learning all about it, I think our friend Freshwater Ichthyology has a video about the meat eaters, I think it was called, somewhat along those lines. Not a bad place to start if you want to learn a little bit more about them. Where'd that go? I've been seriously debating getting a parrot. Maybe not something like an African grey, but maybe a cockatiel or a parakeet. I've always wanted a parrot. I think parrots are cool. I have a colleague at work who has a parrot, and it's like, oh, it's up this bloody parrot. It's very much a lifelong commitment, unless you're getting things like cockatiels don't live as long. Budgies, that sort of thing. I mean, they still live a long time, but not as long as a proper macaw, African grey, something along those lines. They live for like 90 years. I thought it'd be cool to have like a fish room parrot, but I don't know. It's quite a commitment. It could turn out to be an arsehole and just sit there giving it rack, rack, rack all day long, and I'd feel so bad that if I tried to rehome it or something like that. How are the black Corridoras doing? They're doing really good, actually. Breeding like nobody's business. No, that's not true. They're laying eggs like nobody's business, and the rainbow fish are picking off the eggs with great delight. So they're keeping the population in check. But yeah, they're doing well. Barry, hello there. From my understanding, they're eternal toddlers and loud. Yeah, that'd be my worry, getting one that would not shut up. We had birds when I was a kid, and I kind of miss that. Yeah, I had a friend that I used to stop in on the way to school so we could walk to school together, and he had an aviary, and it was all little birds, so like finches and things like that. But it was cool, and I think that's what I thought. I don't really know if I want an aviary, but I wouldn't mind a pet bird, like a parrot or something like that. My auntie has a parrot, and they are awesome. They're definitely awesome. I don't think there's any no debate that they're awesome. They're just that whether you're going to handle that level of awesome and level of responsibility to look after the bleeding thing. There you go, look at Zen Ginger giving out the video links. The reason I was asking about salt is the Japanese use a lot of salt for their koi, and a few YouTubers... I can't say that word. A few YouTubers now use salt in their ponds to help health. I mean, I'm not trying to say that salt isn't beneficial in some situations, but I don't think it's a requirement. Where I was going for it. But what I know, what I know about koi can be written on the back of a very small fag packet. So I don't know if there's something that I'm just not come across that they're doing that for. But salt, in my experience, has always been used as a kind of supplementary treatment to something else. Whether it's to get the bowels going and get things moving, or to support some other medications. A famous discus medication that was all the rage for some time was, my discus is doing X. Salt and acroflavin. That was the answer to every ailment you could possibly think of. But yeah, I don't know a lot about koi, so don't take my word for it. And I think I'm a little bit of an outlier in that I don't rush to meds. And that's not saying that, you should follow me because I don't rush to meds. That has been my downfall in many cases. I sometimes wish I had rushed to meds sooner, because we would have fixed some problems. But yeah, I tend to not want to use meds until it's something that I'm sure a specific medication is going to fix. And when that's backfired on me is I've waited too long to be sure. So yeah, I'm not the person to be all righteous about, they're doing it wrong. I don't know enough to say that they're doing it wrong. It's nipped me a few times though, the parrot. Yeah, I bet it will. How did I get so many chats far behind, but I thought I'd caught up. Oh dear. I want pigeons. They are sweet birds. You can get bird nappies for... What? Pigeons? As in street rats? Flying street rats? I will say that now that I live in the countryside, i.e. the edge of the city rather than the middle of it, the pigeons are a bit fancier. I think, do we call them like wood doves or something like that now? But the pigeons, they're just not quite as ratty. And they're quite nice. I can kind of see where you're coming from. Pardon me. I had an internal filter fail on me this week, so I put an emergency fine sponge filter in and noticed the water clarity improved significantly. Plus cheaper to run, so won't replace. Sponge filters are brilliant. I'm surprised that it's better than an internal filter for clarity, but I guess it depends on the internal filter. Some of them are truly terrible. Public service announcement from Hans. Just a friendly reminder to everyone, don't eat the yellow snow. I do want a bird but more because I like understanding their minds. Many animals I'd rather have instead. I mean, yeah, it's a big commitment to get a bird, I think. Have you ever been to I'm trying to remember the name of the place now. But they have ravens and crows. And they come out and do the shows. I'm not trying to ring this, it's just that it happened. And it's all about telling you how clever they are. And you think, oh yeah, I've heard about ravens being really clever. But until you see this thing, you're like, oh my god. It can recognise faces, it can draw from memory. Draw a bird from memory. It can interact, it can solve puzzles. I've never seen anything like it. I'm only 44 and I still feel too old to get any more birds or turtles. Yeah, I think I'm past the point of getting a parrot now. I think I'm about 44. Why do I keep not knowing? Right, let's work it out. 45 I am. 46 next year. Oh, Jesus. So if I bought a young African grey now, I'd have to have it in the will to get one of the kids to look after it. Loving the channel, says Andrew. Thank you very much. Don't buy fish if you don't know the right stuff quite right. Salt for slime coats and parasites on koi. Yeah, I mean, if it is to treat something, my worry is there's lots of things that are done as preventative measures, which you're like, it doesn't quite fit for me when you're doing it like that. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? I clearly don't know colour blindness, and I had quite strong opinions about that. Right, we've reached 11 o'clock, so we're going to draw it. Oh my god, we're miles behind the chat. Right, I'm going to run through the chat as quickly as possible. If you're bored of me and this face and that and all of this, go and watch another video, another live stream if you want. The Cold Water Aquatics usually streams at 11. I'm assuming they will, and possibly one of the mods will be putting a link to that live stream in the chat now. But for the next minute at least, I shall try and just scroll through all these. That was my general feeling. Many an old school fish keeper recommends salt, but never seen it do anything much. Yeah, I've always had the discussion goes something along the lines of, my fish is doing this, or you should add salt 10 grams per litre or whatever. Next post, my fish died. Okay, you didn't add salt early enough. Okay, you're like, what is the salt doing? Why are you making that recommendation? I'm 60 years of experience. Of what, though? Killing fish with salt? Get guinea pigs, they are epic. And tasty too. Sorry. We're talking about birds, Scott, for some reason, on the fish channel. I had a budgie. He was nearly 16 years old before clinging his last perch. We called him Cash, so we always had some cash in the house. I like that one. Wood pigeons. What did I say? I didn't say wood pigeons. I meant to say something like wood pigeons. Doves and pigeons, the same things. The exotic ones are really nice. Diamond doves are a good first choice. Well, we were thinking of getting a dove house and putting that out in one of the trees just to see if we could attract some of them. Because like you say, it's like a higher class of pigeon, not the street rat pigeon you get in the city centre. Salt is good for respiration, health, disease recovery. I'm not going to disagree with you, but I'm going to challenge you on some of those points. Salt is good for respiration help. How? And what chemical reactions are going on that makes that better? Disease recovery. You could not have a more generic phrase. Fungus issues. Okay, maybe. As well as fighting off things like algae or parasites that can't live in salt water. Okay, yeah, I can get on board with that. But it being used as a catch-all treatment for everything because it does some things which are potentially completely unrelated is the bit that I'm having a problem with. Bad case of fin rot, body rot. Am I the only one hearing Graham as if he's on the... Is that when I'm going to my advert voice? Oh, it's skipping all over the place. Right, we'll need to get to the bottom. Regarding the yellow snow warning, are we talking about Graham? I have never eaten yellow snow twice. And is it my yellow or the real yellow? Well, you don't want to be eating brown snow. That's even worse. There you go. Cold Water Aquatic stream started 4 minutes ago. You can head over there after this is finished, or now if you want, if you're bored of me, and say, I'm really sorry, Graham kept us behind after class. Hippie John's on later, 300 sub giveaway. By all means, drop a link in the chat if you want. I don't know who Hippie John is. I'm happy to. I'm not, because I'm going to be asleep. But I'm happy to recommend him, knowing nothing about him. Salt, respiration health, meaning gill function. No, not buying it. Sorry. Sorry, no. I'm sure it has beneficial things, but it's the presentation of it as a catch-all silver bullet. Oh, salt's brilliant at everything. I just don't. No, I don't believe it. I will change my mind if someone gives me something convincing that changes it, but I'm not having it. Disease recovery, meaning osmotic balance. Fish doesn't have to work as hard. Lowers energy needed to balance salt level. No, not buying that either. Disease recovery. Okay, there might be a specific disease. Maybe that's the way we need to present this to make it more or less questionable or challengeable. Because that's a bit like saying, oh, you got a disease, yeah? This is the cure. But which out of the 55,000 million diseases are you talking about? Audio quality rather than accent. Sorry, it's just... this crappy mic. I need to get the proper setup down here. That's what we have to do. Right, we really now pushed the limit here. 6 minutes over time. I'm very sorry to everyone. Hopefully you've enjoyed my fantastic looking Cactus Pleco. You've enjoyed Humphrey getting used to his new digs in Megatank. You've enjoyed and been present at Megatank being populated for the first ever time. It's been emotional. I've enjoyed every last second of it. Thank you very much, everyone. Go and check out Cold Water Aquatics. Say Aquarium Adventures sent you, and have a good time. And see you next week. Bye bye.